G'day to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. I'm at Luna Park today. I just spent some time over there at Lavender Bay, did a couple of 5am clubs, and I'm just enjoying the sunshine on this fantastic Sydney winter's day. It's a sunny day. There's a little bit of breeze. The tide's coming in, the temperature is mild, and it's just absolutely spectacular. I remember coming here as a kid and just loving every moment. Who's come to Luna Park and not enjoyed it? So what I want to do today is talk about a topic that not very many people understand and know about. And I must admit, I'm not an expert at it either. But it's the topic of cryptocurrency, crypto assets. And there's a book summary that I'm going to base. And it's, as I said before, it's on crypto assets and cryptocurrency. And it's authored by a fellow called Chris Burniske. Chris Burniske is going to take us on a journey of discovery, hopefully, where we can learn a little bit more about crypto assets. And he says that crypto assets, it's all about supply and demand, and what makes crypto assets unique is that they are both intangible and they are finite and rare. So they're intangible because crypto assets are mined and based on software, and it's a different form of currency. Just like Bitcoin is an example of a cryptocurrency, and it is finite and it is rare. So let's learn a little bit more about this intangibility and the rareness that comes about this currency, because there are some commentators who suggest that cryptocurrency could at some point become the currency, the basis of all future money transactions as early as 2030. So we're talking about 9 years from now. And I must admit, the investment in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency has had a very volatile ride over the past few months. They have come down to almost 30,000 US dollars after being as high as 60,000 US dollars earlier in the year. To be honest with you, we're at a point now that whoever has invested in cryptocurrency over the past 6 months, since early January, is probably in the red at the moment and very, very nervous. But this also means that it could be at a point where it's worth investing in, because it could be at a low point, a temporary low point, before it takes off again and becomes more mainstream. So the first key point to come out of this book from this author is that the foundation of all crypto assets is based on a revolutionary technology known as blockchain technology. So much so that Bitcoin wouldn't be possible without blockchain technology. And blockchain technology, hard for me to describe, so what I'll do is I'll just do my best at taking what the author talks about. He says that it's basically all formed and based on decentralized software, and there are three main properties. The software, as I said, is decentralized, so it's not held by any one particular person. It's not organized, it's not controlled by any particular government or banking institution. It is decentralized, which means that its life is in many different places at the one time. So that makes it a lot more secure, if you want to look at it that way. But it's also, because it's internet driven, anybody can access it via the web. So it's highly accessible and highly decentralized. The other thing about this cryptocurrency, these crypto assets, is that they're cryptographic, which means that they're encrypted by unbreakable computer codes. And the third thing that makes them so unique and so special is that they're immutable. Immutable meaning that they can't be deleted, they can't be lost, and they can't be manipulated. It's a big words. It's a big concept and a big call, but that's what the author is informing us. So, according to the author, this technology is both robust, it's public, and it's auditable, a lot more so than any other currency system that we have available at this moment. So the author then goes on to say that you can win in the quickly evolving financial and investing world by being both informed and brave. I guess for those who have been very informed and very brave over the past 6 months, they're probably very, very nervous at the moment as we speak, because as I said, the value of these cryptocurrency has taken a shellacking over the past couple of months, and anybody who has invested is probably looking at a capital loss at the moment if they were to liquidate their holdings. The author then says a very, very interesting saying, that the second best time to plant a tree is right now. I'd probably say that the best time to plant a tree is right now. So Bitcoin is at a price, it's probably about 40,000 now. It fluctuates from the low 30s to the 40s. But I reckon if it gets down to the low 30s, I'd be very interested in throwing a few coins into my superannuation or buying a couple for my granddaughters. But I've had a chat with my broker, and he seems to think, no, that's not the way to go. So, as I say, like most people, I really don't know. But I respect my broker. But as I say, I've got my gut feeling, but we'll see how we go. So the author then goes on to say that the Bitcoin has the ability, or crypto assets, cryptocurrencies, have the potential to completely alter everything we know about finance. Just like email disrupted snail mail, just like Netflix disrupted Blockbuster, Bitcoin too has the ability to disrupt traditional money systems. When more businesses accept it as a form of payment, it has the potential to grow very, very quickly. But the third point that the author makes is that you can still lose. You can still lose. Because it's all based on groupthink, where we have these speculations of the crowds doing things which aren't all that sustainable, I guess is the best way of looking at it. And we are going to see periods of ups and downs. I guess the big lesson for each and every one of us, and what my broker continues to tell me, is that we need to be careful not to do things just because everybody else does it. It was only a few weeks ago that I was at work. I was finishing up for the day, and I overheard a conversation by some people, construction workers, talking in the background there, and they were talking loudly and boldly about how they're investing in Bitcoin and how they're going to make millions and how it's the best thing since sliced bread. And I said to myself, that's the last place I'd expect to be hearing people talking about Bitcoin on a construction site, in the sheds at the end of the day. But like everything, the big trick in the investment world is to know when to hold and to know when to fold. Some people are suggesting that Bitcoin could go to $600,000 this year and 12 million in the next 10 years. And yet others don't have the same sort of viewpoint. Just goes to show you that we can have some really, really varying views in terms of what the future is in terms of cryptocurrency. I for sure don't have a strong opinion either way. But as I said, I wouldn't mind having a couple and just throwing them into my superannuation fund. And if they grow, that's fine. If they go to zero, it's not going to be the end of the world. But I do think that each and every one of us need to at least understand what cryptocurrency, what crypto assets are, to understand their strengths, to understand that they may have a place in the financial world going forward, and to be ready to jump at the drop of a hat, so to speak, if things take off or if things drop to a point where they actually scream out, buy me, buy me. For me, anything close to, it's a hard one, because anything close to $30,000 US is getting at a point of support. And if there's no support at 30,000, then it could drop to 20,000. And the other thing also is that there is a point of resistance at about 41,000. So if the Bitcoin can't break through the 41,000 US mark, then it won't take off. So there are two, I guess, technical points from a chartist's perspective that we're all looking out for. And as I say, if I was a Bitcoin holder, I'd be very, very nervous if the Bitcoin is not getting up and through 41,000, but I'd be also just as nervous as seeing it heading down to 33,500 and then the 3,500. If it breaks that support level, then it could find an air draft all the way down to 20,000 or less. So some trying times. And the way it works is that people who hold these currencies or these investments will hold on for long enough. But there will come a time where they will lose their nerve. And that point will come if it goes to those low 30,000 US dollar points. People will start to vomit and start to let go of their assets as quickly as they can, and you could see a huge, huge drop in value almost immediately. But like everything has a point, everything has a bottom, and everything has a point, a value where you just can't continue to ignore it. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me on this episode, this interesting episode of Jim's 5am Club, where I talk about a topic which I admit I have no expertise in, but then again, I challenge anybody to have a greater expertise than what I've just articulated based on this book that I've just summarized, or the summary that I've just talked about. So like everything, we all have to take responsibility and accountability for the investment decisions that we make. And for some of us, it'll work, and for others, it may not work. But the best time to invest, of course, is when you can afford it. So I think I'll leave it there. So thank you very much for joining me. I'll finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable. Let's help each other. Learn a little bit more. Let's help each other understand how to make money, but also help each other by articulating the potential risks so that we don't overdo it. And so that we can be the wind beneath our wings, so that we can live, learn and pass it on. And in a decade or so, look back and say, well, look, we had that discussion, we understood it a little bit better, we didn't invest for X reason, and this is why we regret it, or I should have done this and I should have done that. But at the end of the day, knowledge is potential power. Knowledge with action is actual power. Anyway, take care everybody. What a glorious day. What a beautiful day. And we'll chat again. Let's say bye-bye to this ferry. The beautiful, the glorious, the Dawn Fraser. What a name. Especially in this year where we're going to have our Olympics in Japan. Take care, enjoy the day, and bye for now. Yasas. Look at that churn, look at that speed. How wonderful.